fuck is up? Shit. Well, I'm coming to the end, goddammit. I'm gonna have to stop smoking this weed. That shit don't do nothing but choke me. Maybe I should stop buying this high powered goddamn shit and buy something more age appropriate. Hey, let's get into this right now, cause I'm telling you. First of all, you motherfuckers never hear me touting anything except my shit. But I'm telling you, I've been watching a Netflix original. The shit is so good. I've been binging. I binged on it for 4 days. I've been watching All American with Tay Diggs. I never liked Tay Diggs, but that has all changed. If you haven't watched it, get on it. It has a lot of good life lessons in it. And they're not all about being true to the streets. Being true to the streets definitely is a prominent part of the topic. But at a point, the streets may conflict, or the street ideology may conflict with what's best for you. Do you stay true to the streets at that point? I mean, they addressed that. And it was very mind-opening for me. And I'm a Tay Diggs fan now, because I don't know if he had anything to do with the production, but he was prominent through all the series. And it was just about black kids in the Crenshaw district. How fucked up shit is, how cool shit is. It was just everything. Now, looking at that made me start thinking about plans. Planning. Everyone makes plans. Plans for this, plans for that. There's a plan for everything in our lives. Most of us, though, do not really plan. We think of something and we say we gonna do it when possible, and that's that. Planning is systematically organizing a way or methods that you're going to use to achieve a particular goal. I mean, you might have a dilemma approaching. You thinking, this is going to blow up. You think that. It's best to figure out how you're going to handle it. How you're going to handle it before it gets here. And whatever you figure out, you got to stick to it and do it. one of the ways to achieve any goal, or on the way to achieving any fucking goal, there is going to be physical milestones that you can see or touch, and these are going to let you know that you're on the right path. You're on your planned path. Now, once your plan has been executed, you should have in front of you what you planned on having. It's the critical thinking where most of us fall short. So in the coming months, we got to realize that we're going to stop simply thinking, and we're going to move on to planning. Now, just yesterday, actually, I was fortunate enough to hook back up with Gorgeous Dre. Somebody wanted me to be at a video shoot, and I went, and I ran into Dre there. Man, I was on his podcast yesterday, and me and Tate kicked it with him. It was one of the best times I've had lately. I don't get to, chop it up like that. The conversation went so well. Even though I swore off being on another dude's podcast. That shit's dead now, because what I'm saying is that shit Dre offered and I accepted to do a weekly show. Tuesdays, 7 o'clock on Dre's channel. I don't have all the information to the channel, but I'll get it so that when I do announce it here and there, I can tell you how to get there. But I'm telling you, this is going to be epic. Tay gonna be there every week too. Various topics are going to be discussed, but what we'll be doing is showing you how to have a particular mentality. Now, what I'm saying is Dre said something about the game mentality. Or, I forget. I think he did say the game mentality. And a lot of people was curious about that. How do you develop that mentality? What you don't know or understand is that unless every single thing you... What's up, man?
What's up, bud?
Ain't nothing. What's happening with you?
Amazing. Your show last night with Dre was incredible. You dropped so much science on them, number one. Number two, if you people are not at SWU, you're losing out. You're missing out. It is the best program on planet Earth. That's all I got to say.
Thank you, Carl. I love you.
Love you. Peace.
Hey, you guys. See, I mean, of course I like hearing that shit. But more than hearing it, it's the fucking truth. It's the truth. Sure, I didn't have what I have now 4 years ago. But I got teaching experience, and each semester I fucking add, change, make this more clear. I do something each semester. Because it's a never-ending process. But let me tell you, we're going to discuss various topics on there with Dre. But what we're really going to be doing is showing you how to have a mindset. I mean, we all know critical thinking is an intricate part of planning. So we got to start thinking our plans through to the end. Breaking them down in steps so we can execute them and realize what our goals are. If you want to reach your goal, this is mandatory to do. What's more important is you don't go outside of your lane to realize these steps. when you break down the steps, and it's an intricate part of your goal, it may say you can't do or limit what you do. And instead of you going with what this goddamn plan is saying, you gonna do anything because you know this way will get it done. Alright. That's up to you, man. If you want to do that. But I wouldn't. I wouldn't go outside my lane. That's where all your mentality comes into play. Whatever it is you're about to do, as long as you can consciously, I say consciously, long as you can consciously stay in the boundaries of what you profess. And I did use the word consciously, meaning that it's not accidental, you're doing it purposely. Because unless you try to do what you're about to do, it ain't going to be a part of your thought process. When you're on a discovery mission concerning yourself, don't listen to any other person's version of your discovery. People always want to add their 2 cents when it's at your expense. You won't believe how many people told me the way I was going about this internet shit wouldn't work. I don't think I could stand a better year than I had. But you know I'm down for it if that's the case. But straight ahead to the top, baby. That's where we going. That's where we want to go. Men like me are not afraid to change my life. I'm honored to know and associate myself with the caliber of men I know, such as Dre. My partner, who pimped all his fucking life, went and got a job and is handling his business like a pro. This motherfucker ain't never worked in his life. This motherfucker in his 70s. Tay, as wild of a man as he was and is, he never shirked his duty to his children. What I'm saying is, the early ones, you know, that nigga 74, he got some kids over 50. Those he might have shirked with. I didn't really know him then. But the ones that I know he raised, the ones under like 38 or something like that, them motherfuckers got taken care of. Now what I'm saying is this. The abba dabba in this nigga, it transfers to everything you do. When you have a particular way you see shit, it supersedes slipping and fucking up. Because what I'm saying is, that game in him wouldn't let him be a deadbeat dad. Now, if left up to the state, he certainly would have been a deadbeat dad, even to this day, because he didn't really pay child support. But this nigga took care of his kids. And I can attest to witnessing it. I watched Tay sit with me in the after hours spot for hours at a time. It was always like a club in there, so it's dark and you let the time fly by. Many a nights we was caught at 7 o'clock in the morning and then slipped up on us, and that nigga would get up and leave. Nigga, where you going? I'd ask, I gotta get my boy to school, bud. That's what my nigga would say. Or even if it was during the day and we was at some bitches, 3 p.m., that nigga gonna stop whatever the fuck we was doing and go get his boy from school. Now he would take and pick his son up to every single football or baseball or basketball or whatever kind of practice. Any party his son needed to go to, Tay took him, took his friends, and picked them up. And I'm not ashamed to admit this. I learned hella shit about being a pimp, a real pimp, from Tay. And I also learned just as much about being a real father. I used to talk about that nigga, telling him he gonna make his son soft, because this nigga would not let his son take the bus. And I'm saying, he used to say, nah, bud, too much shit happened at the bus stop. And when I got my motherfucking daughter at 6 months old, almost immediately, she couldn't even go out at that point. But immediately I was the same damn way that Tay was. And my girl will tell you, I made sure she was on time. I did her hair every fucking morning, and I took and picked her up to wherever she and her girlfriends wanted to go. I'd meet their parents, and I tell them to not worry because I'm the designated driver. And I got that mentality from my pimp friend, Sharente. No matter what you do in life, it's all about your priorities. If your priorities are right, your life is going to follow suit. You don't need to be rich to care about others. No matter what, rich people don't have their Christmas. None of them, and some of you, don't give a fuck that a lot of people gotta beg during Christmas season. I mean, they ain't on the corners begging, but I imagine that's how they feel. Motherfuckers waiting in line for a box of food, and politicians acting as if they ain't gonna need some food in a few more days. I'm praying for all of us that's in need. And I believe I'm blessed, and believe I will survive this chaotic bullshit we going through. I will survive it unscathed. This is not a boast. I'm truly blessed. I don't need to stand or wait in line for a meal. I used to say that shit as a boast of me being me. But never did I think I'd actually see it. You know, people standing in line, people that work every day, standing in line for Christmas or whatever, needing some handouts. See, we allowed ourselves to get into this by not voting. Now, if we learned our lesson, fuck living in the past, let's live for the future and just make sure we vote. That's what we do. We ain't gonna do this bullshit again. Each election from here on is seriously important. Your vote counts, and if we use it correctly, we'll never have to experience this bullshit we going through from inexperienced administrations. This is the chaos that Trump left us. Horrible holiday seasons. I've lived over 30 Christmases without my dad. I've lived about 10 Christmases without my mom. And I got a brother that I done had 10 Christmases without. And a sister without 8. This is 4 people in our family. This is the 4th Christmas without my oldest brother. What's up?
Hey, let me ask you. You used to be in an exclusive club, and you ordered a car that was one of 50 ever manufactured in the United States. And I guess it was like a black drop top car. I wanted to ask you, what was that club, and do you still have the car?
No, I don't have the car. The car was a Decorville. It was made by Nick Decorville. I bought the first one out of 250. It looked very similar to an Excalibur, but it wasn't an Excalibur. It was a Decorville, and I don't think he still doing that. But that car is still being replicated.
Oh, all right. So you said Nick DeCorville, right?
Yeah, you ever heard in New York and in Hollywood of Nick's Fish Market?
Nah.
Well, it was an exclusive place for the filthy rich to go eat sushi and all that kind of shit. Nick owned those fish markets. He owned those fish markets, and whatever reason he decided to make this car, and he only made it to drive around, and he was gonna have people order it. And I seen him driving it, and I pulled him over and asked him where he made it, where he get it from, and he said he was thinking about, starting a line and shit, but advertising and all that shit. And I told that motherfucker, I said, man, sell me this car, man. The way I live, man, I'm gonna be rolling advertisement for you. And what I'm saying is, anybody ask me, I'm gonna be speaking on Nick DeCorville, blah blah blah. That motherfucker sold it to me. I traded my Rolls Royce in and gave him 30 grand on top of it, and I bought that goddamn DeCorville. That's how that came about.
Yeah, that's cool as hell, man. Hey, but you traded in you had the
Silver Shadow. I had a 74 silver Shadow that was worth like 35, whatever. Dude wanted 70 grand for the car, and I had like 30. And I told him, man, look, I'm telling you, man, give me this right now. I'm gonna give you this 30 grand, and I will be your advertisement, rolling advertisement for you. And I'm telling you, man, he thought that was a good deal, and he sold me that car.
Damn, that sounds like a really good deal, man. Because I'm looking at the pictures right now. It looks cool as hell.
That car was dope, man. Where you looking at the pictures at? Hey, man, send me a link to the pictures you looking at, man, so that I could see the motherfuckers, man. Send it to askrosebud@gmail.com.
Okay, yeah, for sure. I got you, man.
All right, man, be cool. Now, that was some cool shit. He might know some shit that I don't know. I was in 3 fires, and I lost a lot of motherfucking pictures. But let me tell you guys something. I actually got to add 2 more brothers. Well, 1 more brother to that list. Because this is the 4th Christmas without. That's my oldest brother. But my brother Gene passed like a couple of months ago. And I mean, you can feel sad or sorry or whatever, but you don't really have to, man. Because I'm 70, and I'm damn near the youngest in my family. So my brothers, even though they left too quick, they lived a good life. They weren't no young men when they died. But this is gonna be the first fucking holiday without Gene. So rest in peace, Gene. Now the other day, I'm talking about people having to go through changes and shit. I saw this line of cars. And this line of cars was so long, it took me like 2-3 minutes to get to the front. Because I wanted to see what it was. And it was people in line for food. These was Americans. Most of them had jobs. Sitting in their goddamn cars, waiting for their turn to get a box of food. I mean, how fucked up do you think they feel? They work, pay their bills, but shit is so fucked up. How many of them have one less plate to fix because of that goddamn COVID? Man, this is horrible. I'm quite sad about it. And I'll say it, but I can't truly mean it when the holidays come and everybody's screaming fucking happy holidays. I'll say that shit, but I ain't gonna mean it. I had a listener tell me he don't have a price tag stamped on his forehead. I'm sure you don't even know what the fuck he was talking about, but I do. Because he and I speak the same language. What I'm saying is, if you got principles, how much money you're being offered doesn't matter. So sometimes, let's say the motherfuckers think they need 300-400 from the broad. And shit, if she give him 300-400, he ain't got nothing else to say. He ain't, a price tag on his head. Give me 400 and we cool. So that's what dude was saying. But what I'm saying, and what he and I was talking about, motherfuckers just sit and wonder what's going on in the world as it passes them by. And to that youngster, I say, stay down, stay on them ABPs, and very soon you're gonna be wearing that fucking crown that you're talking about. And all of you guys gotta remember, as you get confidence, display it. Don't explain it. Don't explain any of it to your undeserving goddamn friends. And those of you who are willing to change, you deserve this. Today is a great day to start out on a new direction for your life. Life does not end with pussy. But it sure begins with it. If your goddamn daddy didn't know how to go about getting at the women of his day, your ass wouldn't be here. So, for me to sit here and tell you pussy ain't important, that would be like a lie. But more important than getting it is being qualified to have it. Just about anybody could get some pussy. But how many have it online waiting for them? How many have it when you call? And it could be weeks. And it might be weeks because you had that many bitches. Come on, man. There's a whole nother world out there waiting for you. There's a qualification process that you got to go through if you expect to be a hunter instead of a prey. The women you meet are qualified to charge your goddamn ass, which makes you prey. And if you show the slightest weakness to them motherfuckers, then it's almost impossible for you not to show how afraid of rejection you are. Man, the ABPs of dating will prevent you from allowing yourself to become susceptible to her feminine wiles. She's going to use them, and she's going to play on your weaknesses with it. So today, start realizing if you want to catch a woman, you have to do what I did, or a similar version of what I did, or a similar version of what successful motherfuckers do. I learned what I did. I learned how to make my expressions work with my conversations. My facial expressions really works for me. I learned that an animated hunter has an added element to his catch hand that is as good as conversation. I don't care what you think. Looking serious and mean ain't gonna relax no bitch. And show ain't gonna allow her to get into what the fuck you saying. Or in y'all cases, what you be trying to say. If your expression does not reflect the precise thing you want from her, she ain't gonna volunteer it to your begging ass. So take it from me. Or better yet, get in the Sidewalk University and learn what to do to prepare yourself to become a fucking woman magnet. Become a man who attracts women, who wants to give you whatever you have the nerve to ask for. If this sounds easy, it's because it is easy. I practice the steps to success with women, with everything I did. Going to the store, going to the mall, going to the post office, anywhere I was, I practiced my ABPs, and I learned from each session. Even pumping gas, I was on my ABP, just as you should be. And after reading about the ABP principle, get your ass into my school and get on your way to becoming more confident than ever. When it comes to approaching women with the right things to say, I was just always extreme. But I wasn't ever an extremist. I just had principles. And I'm going to put you up on a couple of them. And my principles involve the alphabet. Now, I believe in no apologies. I don't apologize for being myself. Why apologize for doing what comes naturally to you? I also believe in no fear. I lost the fear of what people are going to think about me being myself long ago. And it's scary to wonder how somebody going to perceive what you represent. So be your best you. It's important to show no shame. I no longer think of or feel shame of what I am. Most people want to please everyone except themselves. Start concentrating on yourself first, then you may branch out to others for help. And I also believe in showing no disrespect. Simply because I speak my mind, I do not mean any person disrespect. There are many tricks others play to keep you from growing and leaving them where they currently are because they're scared. They don't want you to leave them. And lastly, there should be no regrets. Do not regret the choices you've made to be who you are, or for the so-called friends you may lose for being who you are. Now these are the 5 no's. N's. And you have them as your part of your belief right now. No apologies, no fear, no shame, no disrespect, and no regrets. Implement them in your life ASAP. Now, another letter, W's. Who, what, when, where, and why. They're the 5 W's. And you need to know them. If you answer those questions in everything you do or say, you'll be on your way to a critical thinker. You're not planning if you don't take the idea past your initial thought. Now, the other day I withdrew 51s and decided to go out and do what I hardly ever do anymore, unless it's holidays. But I went out and gave the panhandlers I was going to give them a couple bucks each. I told them to keep the faith. I hardly ever do that anymore because I believe if they wanted to, they could get a job. But when it's the holidays, since I claim to be a person not afraid of change, I lean towards community. And those homeless people, they part of the community I live in. Now, whether I like it or not, I'm riding up to each one of them, giving them a couple of bucks and wishing them good luck. Hopefully I won't see them buying some crack later with the money I gave them. Now, if they do and it make their day, who am I to say it ain't cool? Now, what I'm saying, or what I'm getting to, is different groups, clubs, and organizations have standards. And these standards are so the club can have a certain level of membership. Now, to keep it pure, or to make it where just anybody couldn't join, some of the standards are a little difficult to have or maintain. Now think about this. In a group of high achievers whose rule is you must maintain a 4.0 to be in the group, they're not going to let you in because you got a 3.91. Even though 3.91 is hella good, To get in the club, you need a 4.0. Now, if you want in, get a 4.0. Group members accept it like that. It's so that you don't get, the riffraff in your organization. So what I'm asking you, or what I want to ask you, is what good is working to reach level 10 if you need it reduced as far as the difficulty in reaching it? What happens when people are faced with the difficulty, or some they study to learn, they want qualifications lowered to fit them? I mean, what happens when that goes on? Look at the Abu Dhabi Hyacinth change. You want to know why it's not the same anymore? It changed because it's not an exclusive club anymore. Anybody could be in it. It's important for us to realize, simply because we have heard of something or become aware of something does not mean it's for you. It seems as if you think once you learn a new term, you got to use it. Having game means something. Simp means something. Go-getter means something. Top notch means something. But to you, as soon as you learn what it means, fuck if you qualify to use it. You're going to use it anyway. Reducing the value of the word. Each time you give yourself the name king or pimp or international, and you ain't qualified to be it, every time you introduce yourself with that name, you lessen the quality of the word. King whoever should have a kingdom of hoes that makes him worthy of that name. International so-and-so should have at least traveled to different states, preferably different countries. What's up?
What's up, bud? It's Eric Watson in Kansas City.
Hey, Eric, what's happening?
Ain't nothing, man. I just want to tell you, man. You know what? If I could ever meet you in person, I want to shake your hand.
Eric, you still knocking them off like that, man?
Man, knocking them down left and right. I got a date tonight, man.
Hey, man, that's what it's about, brother. Finding who you are, and once you do, you're an unstoppable force.
Man, it's beautiful. And I just to the rooftops, man, and tell you your shit is A1.
Appreciate you, Rand.
All right, man, take it easy.
You know it.
All right.
Me and he had words. Shit. I remember he. That's Rick. Yeah. But any motherfucking way, if you use the word pimp in your name, you should really be pimping. Why would you name yourself something and not try to live up to it? You would do that because you have no pride in yourself. You have accepted that you're a faker. And when you speak your name, you don't even stick your chest out. When I named myself Rosebud, I adopted the whole kit and caboodle. Everything I knew about roses, the pastel colors, and all of that shit became part of how I repped me. When I arrived, I announced my name. I never said it. Who is this? Rosebud? No. Who is this? Rosebud! Man, now I hear fools fucking my name up, talking about they name Rosebud. I made my name mean something just as pretty in front of a name used to mean something too. Now, it's been fucked up. Pretty Willie, Pretty Tony, all that meant something. But I'll bet now one of you motherfuckers knew that the nigga who put the word pretty in front of his name was usually an ugly motherfucker, but he had hella game. He knew niggas who called him pretty was showing him respect, and he knew he took that respect. And before you knew it, he was pretty, because we learned pretty is what pretty does. And if that motherfucker was serious about his goddamn pimping, he earned that name and the respect he got from us. What's up?
Hey, what's up, Rosebud? The lifeblood of the party from San Francisco, the great Gatsby, the great highway. Loving your shit, dog. Question tonight, 2 questions. How would Rosebud, if he was in office, stop the motherfucking fentanyl epidemic? Question number 2. In public, what's the best way facial expression to wear on your face? Smile, straight face, what's the best face? I used to walk around kind of just smile, but what would Rosebud...
Hey, stop. Let me ask you something, man. Why would you think of something like that? Why would you think of what expression should I be walking around with? Just tell me why. I want to know.
Well, because it seems like you got the answers for every motherfucking thing. So I thought, what will my boy Bud do?
I do have the answer, but I want to know why you're asking.
If I was calling my bitch ass stepdad or my bitch ass aunt to think I'm gay because I'm not married, I wouldn't ask him. I'd ask Bud.
Listen, man. None of what you're asking is important. What's important is what you think. And if you walking down the street to go get some popcorn and you think you should be mean mugging motherfuckers, I mean, that's on you. And that's what you think. But the average motherfucker... Hey, dude, if you want to talk to me, shut the fuck up when I'm talking. Now, if you want to tell me something, get a goddamn show, and when I call in, you can say what the fuck you want to say. Do you understand that?
I understand, and I love when you and the Dean were together. You guys were fucking magic together, dude. I love you two together, dude. Hope you guys...
Hey, man, I don't want to talk to you with that bullshit. Listen, you guys. When I named myself Rosebud, I adapted the colors of flowers, roses, the pastel. I adopted everything about the rose, even the thorns. Because when they would ask me, why your name Rosebud? Because, like a rosebud, I have not fully bloomed. And once I do bloom, I will be a rosebud like any rose. Fuck with me, I got thorns. And I will stick your ass. I should tell bitches that shit. Because they be wanting to know what's up. What I'm saying is, when you say, I'm Pretty Michael, Michael got something wrong with his face. He got something wrong with something that you can see. And pretty is the last thing you would say for him. But then you would wonder why motherfuckers like me, face is straight, whatever, look good, blah, blah, blah. Why I call that motherfucker Pretty Michael. It ain't because I think he pretty. It's because I ain't got no complex. I ain't insecure. If motherfuckers call him that, that's what I'm calling him. Shit, I'm not going to be tripping. Oh, I'm calling him pretty. Ooh, I might be gay. Man, fuck that. I don't think like that. You shouldn't think like that. You should get out of the goddamn box of thinking like every motherfucking body else. Fuck what somebody think. Did you motherfuckers know English is the only language where one word can have several meanings? For example, the words up or down. They could mean directions or they could mean emotions. And a various amount of things in between. Direction up is the sky. Emotion up is happy. Direction down is below. Emotion down is sad. I mean, that's not all bad. Long as you sharp enough to use it in the proper context. Long as you sharp enough to understand it in the proper context. You got to know how the word is being used. You can't just hear the word. This country got to stop watering down words and their meanings. Then you only do it so it can fit a lesser category. We got to stop killing ourselves by accepting the watered down versions of a word. The one thing the white man did to take everything from us was use definitions. Once they define it, they taken it. When they used to ask us, well, what is soul? Well, we got soul. We used to kill them. We used to say it's in our feet. It's in our walk. It's in our dance. It's the way we think. It's the way we talk. Never could them motherfuckers discern what the fuck we was talking about. Then Soul Train and American Bandstand exposed it. And the white man defined it. They defined soul musically by noting black people move on the second and the fourth beats in music. White people move on the first and the third beats. That's why if you old enough and you can remember American Bandstand and Soul Trains, on the same song, these two different groups would be moving so differently that it would look crazy. That's why it was a white dance and a black dance. But once they defined it, they turned it into, I'll tell you, just listen to this. First, they turned it into disco music. And then white people started making songs or singing songs with the emphasis on the second and the fourth beat. That's why a lot of white bands had a black drummer or a black bass player. And I'll be damned if Blue Eyed Soul wasn't born. The next thing you know, white boys are being lauded as soul singers, blues singers, and more. And they was the ones getting the fucking awards. Words are only as important as their meanings. And if we want to maintain some sort of control of our destiny, we better take better care of the words we use. Progress is waiting for you to take charge. If you want to make progress in the new year, I hope you ain't waiting for it to find you. Contrary to what you done fucking heard, progress is not looking for you. It's standing where you can see it just out of your reach. And to get it, you got to start doing things differently. When you think about it, you should move on your thoughts. If you don't, you're just going to be punished by stagnation. Get the tools you need to construct a new mentality, a new, confident you. I have all kind of great deals with my tools. Come on, motherfuckers, let's not get it twisted. The interpretations of this game about business being pimps and what they sell is the hoes, that's at the root of what's going on. Fucked up. Statements like these are why pimps and hoes of today are so stupid. There are real definitions for words, pimps and hoe. Now, if you want to, you can relate any business to being a pimp and what that motherfucker is selling as being the hoe and the buyer as being the trick. But let's be honest, when you close your eyes and say that goddamn shit, pimp or hoe, what the fuck you see? A vendor selling his goods? The goods slapping a rubber on the motherfucker's hands that's buying it? Or do you see a fly ass nigga like me and a fine money getting bitch like a real hoe? I mean, any person that's not qualified to do the real deal starts relating different shit to it. Other things to it to compensate their shortcomings. There's nothing short of hating on niggas who really have hoes when you say shit like that. And to prove my point, how many ways can you hit a home run? Well, if you wanted to sell 4 pieces of candy and you ended up selling damn near 60, couldn't you relate that to a dunk? I slam dunked it. Or couldn't you relate that to a home run? I grand slammed it. I'm just saying. We gotta start accepting every man cannot be a pimp and every woman cannot be a hoe. So let's call a rock, a spade, and stop belittling pimps and hoes by relating them to something other than this fucking abba cute. I really warned you motherfuckers. I warned you about fucking with punk bitches, but you had to learn the hard way. I hope I never find out what your name is if you're losing to these fake ass women. I really love to be around family now. My daughter was talking that gay shit. Well, I told her, I ain't gay. You know, you are. So if anybody needs to judge, you do. Now, what I'm saying is, little motherfucker, you know, I told you better miss me with that bullshit. You and your bitch better deal with the shit that comes with your choices. Because ain't nobody chose to have a gay daughter. But if you chose to be gay and you want to be around me, you better adjust. You know, you can't expect me to just start accepting gay shit because you gay. Shit. Most motherfuckers I fuck with ain't gay. So if you need some motherfucker to be gay for you to come around, don't come around. I ain't letting no motherfucker dog my daughter because she gay. But at the same time, I ain't letting her fuck shit up for me because she can't adjust to some motherfuckers that ain't with that shit. Which is most of my friends. As wild as I have lived in my life and as many chances I've taken to and cheated death, I am really thankful that I was one of the ones blessed to see these 70 years. And it looks as if I'll never tire of the joy, even if it doesn't last all year. I'm just happy to be as healthy and sane as I am, and I'm looking forward to a very productive 23. I realize I can't depend on the normal indicators of what's good. If it was about me, I would have deemed the holidays a bust. During the entire month of last December, I didn't, make no money. But the amount, if that's the case, wasn't important. But what is important is my shit is becoming a standard. I didn't make any money during December, but January, bam, bam, bam. Something that dudes include in their to-do list. And whatever is cool for them, they're getting my shit. It fucking just gets more important in times like these because I don't want to pressure you motherfucking ass. I don't want you to decide between your kids' needs and this shit I'm offering. And I don't want you to decide between if you want these suits or do you want to get sharp mentally. You make the choice yourself. And believe me, you can't be wrong. You just gotta deal with the shit or the bullshit that you think. I firmly believe I'm the only person or force in life I need. If I'm wrong, I'll never need because I'll be dead because of whatever mistake I made. Why wait? It's fucking gonna come because you waited. Is it gonna come because you waited? Excuse me. I don't think so. It'll only come when you don't wait. But you are prepared for what's coming. There's one thing we know. It will come. So fellas, you got to understand that I'm genuinely interested in bettering you. I'm interested in you getting into school and all that. But I do this shit regularly. I don't stop. I just believe that I am for you. I firmly believe I'm the only person in life that I need. And if I'm wrong, I'm just saying, I'll find out when I'm dead. Shit. You just gotta understand I'm genuinely interested in bettering you. I don't, want to continue to pretend to be someone. I don't want you to continue to pretend to be someone or something you're not. The big thing to me is I'm seeing a lot of progress. I just would like to reiterate how little good it does you to think you're still in game about women from my shows. I have said this before and I'll say it again. What you get from my show is like knowing just enough karate to get your goddamn ass kicked. You can't possibly be learning from my shows. Those of you who think I'm so stupid to give free shows that's going to circumvent my school are just where you need to be, on the sidelines of life, watching it go by. The men who stepped up their fucking game because of what they got from my course will not ever be where you are again in their lives. Why? Because they took charge of making a change and not the other way around. Most of you allow change to take charge of you, so you wait on it. How's that working for you, bro? I'm coming, and I'm not going to slow down. I'm going to put the pedal to the metal. My time is coming again, and I'm so ready for it because I work hard. Excuse me. Although it might appear that I hardly work, I happen to know you get several turns in life, and so far I've only needed 3. I work hard not to abuse my chances, so I work hard each time. That's because I am one of the few in the world who enjoys what they do. And you know what they say, when you enjoy your work, it's really not working. 2023 is not a year, but it doesn't mean you can't share in the wealth. All it takes is preparation. Yeah. Fellas, I'm gone.